Welcome back to the Nintendo PowerZone, guys. It's your boy, Nice1983, and today we have a brand new unboxing video. Guys, if you remember last week, I went ahead and brought you the Hasbro Talking Electronic Pikachu. This week, we have a Chespin done in the same style that was released in 2014. Kind of a Vault Edition, kind of not a Vault Edition, because it's older, but it's not that old. So guys, this figure was done in the exact same style as that Pikachu, and it was made by Takara Tomy, which is the company that did make the original mold for that Talking Pikachu that Hasbro went ahead and re-released. So you should instantly notice that the packaging is completely different, and it's because it's an import figure. I got this at a store called Pop Cult here in Tampa a couple years ago, and I saw it and I instantly fell in love with it, and I realized that it was the same thing as the Pikachu, and I was like, oh my god, look at that, I need it. So I'm definitely digging it. Let's go ahead and take a look at this box because there's a lot going on. It's super colorful. It is a completely different style of box that was used here in America when they released the Talking Pikachu. So this is card boxed, so it's completely different packaging, but take a look at it. There's so much going on. There's so many bright colors. You know, you got your pink on the side, your blue on the other side, and a lot of Japanese text that I just can't read, so we're not going to spend too much time here. I just want to make note that on the upper left corner of the box you see the Pokemon X and Y logo, and on the upper right corner you see the Takara Tomy logo. So let's go ahead and get this thing flipped over and take a look at the side of the box, okay? So there's not a lot going on this side of the box other than just a nice picture of what the Chespin looks outside of the box and some Japanese text. So let's go ahead and move on to the back of the box. So on this side of the box we literally just have some instructions, how to replace the battery and how to just use the figure itself. So let's just go ahead and move over one more time, take a look at the side of the box. So we have the last side of the box right here, and it's not a lot going on again. There's a nice picture of Chespin being held in the palm of somebody's hand, showing how you're going to play with this thing. So let's just go ahead and get it unboxed, okay? Chespin is out of the box, and it looks freaking adorable. Look at how happy his little face is. His arms just resting across his stomach, his little feet sticking out. This thing looks flawless, and there's not a single piece of paint that's out of place. Everything here is done to the highest degree. I am super impressed with Takara Tomy's effort in making this toy look fantastic. The paint is just so good. I'm just so impressed by it. I really am. And it just looks great. It looks like Chespin. So let's go ahead and flip this thing over. Let's take a look at it from the side now. Looking at Chespin from the side, you get a great sense of his overall shape. He did a really good job. And you start to see that little circle that's on the back of his head. You see the claws on his hind feet that they look very pronounced, and you just see how great the paint job really is. I'm super impressed with the amount of quality that this figure has, considering that it's not a lot going on. Moving on to the back of the figure, you see his tail, you see the black circle a lot more pronounced from this angle, and guys, you see the speaker in the middle of his head, and you also above that you see the Nintendo logo and the Pokemon logo and all that cool stuff that you need to see to show you who owns the license and whatnot. But I'm really liking this figure. From the back you see his spikes just look great. They did an amazing job just getting this figure done right. Let's go ahead, turn it over again, okay? So here it is, guys, the last side of the figure, looking good from this angle as well. But we have to show you what the bottom of this figure looks like because there is something there. So let's go ahead and take a look. So looking at the bottom of the figure, you see the contacts that you're going to use to make the Chespin talk. Right under that you see two battery images letting you know that this thing actually uses two batteries, not one like the Pikachu used. You also have your screw so that you can go ahead and replace the batteries. But now guys, it's time to show you what this figure looks like when it works. So let's go ahead and play with it now. Alright guys, so we have Chespin outside of the box. And it's time to go ahead and play with it because this thing is actually a little bit different than the Pikachu one that we saw last week. So the Pikachu one can only say Pikachu, and it doesn't say it in any different way. There's no different inflections in its voice. It doesn't have any variations on the word Pikachu. But this Chespin right here actually does. It does say more than just its name. It actually sings. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to show you guys how that looks when it's working. So let me go ahead and grab it. So, I hope you guys heard all that, because there were a lot of phrases that came out of this little toy. And it's awesome. They did a really good job on that. And it just goes to show you how far advanced toys have come in the last 20 years. This is the same style as the Pikachu toy, but technology has come far enough that they could actually make this toy say different things. So, by my count, it had about 6 different phrases. And guys, if you leave it idle for long enough, it will say something else to let you know that it's going to go goodbye. So let's go ahead and just wait to hear it time out or idle out. Alright, so there you go. He idled out. Very cool. And it just lets you know it's there to indicate that he's done until you're ready to play with him again. So very cool. I'm very happy to have this figure. I'm very happy to see how far toys have come, how not just toys, but how specifically Pokemon toys have evolved over the last 20 years. But guys, it's time to go ahead and break it down. It's comparison time, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Alright, it's comparison time, and guys, here it is. The 1997 Hasbro Talking Pikachu. Actually, technically it was released by Tomy in 1997 and in America in 1998, but that's just a little caveat. We're gonna call it 1997. But take a look at the differences between these two figures. Pikachu doesn't look like he belongs because he's done in that retro style. He looks like he did in his appearances in red, blue, and yellow, and pretty much how he looked all the way throughout gold and silver. It wasn't until, Gen 3, the advanced generations, that we start to see Pikachu starting to slender down a bit. But look at them, they're almost like completely different, and it's almost mind-boggling to see how much Pokemon have evolved. They're a lot cuter by nature. They're just designed to be cuter. I'm just in awe of how different these two figures are, considering that they do the exact same thing. They are completely different. Like, the Chespin is a lot softer. Just everything about him is softer. Even though he's got these giant claws sticking out of the bottom of his feet, they're rounded. Look at Pikachu's little claws. They're pointed. They're like pointed to tips. The ears on Chespin are also just a lot rounder looking, or I don't know if their ears more as quills. His quills are rounded off, and Pikachu's ears look very sharp. Everything about Pikachu is very sharp. He looks more mouse-like than he does in his newer iterations, and you're just seeing completely different design, and that's just the way the Pokemon Company has moved to cuter overall designs. And that's not a bad thing. It just shows evolution in the series, but it's just crazy to see how different two toys are made by the same company over over 20 years, and you really see a lot of the difference when it comes to things like their functionality. The Pikachu really just only says Pikachu, whereas Chespin had 6 different phrases, and one of them he was singing. It's completely different. I am so happy to see this kind of evolution in toys. Like, sometimes as a collector you just don't notice these things, because sometimes you look at your older things and you're like, those are the things I grew up on, so you have an affinity towards them that you just don't really give towards newer style figures. You might think they look nicer, just because they look nicer, because they're designed nicer, but you don't realize some of the technological differences that happen in something as simple as toys. But right here you have your proof in the pudding. The Chespin is on a higher technical level than the Pikachu is, and it's awesome for it. And I actually like it better than the Pikachu, despite the fact that I have an affinity towards having this Pikachu. It's a prized possession in my collection because of its vintage nature. But the Chespin is better, and you have to appreciate that. You have to appreciate the fact that Tomy went ahead and didn't just keep things the same. They moved with technology, and we have better toys because of it. But guys, don't go anywhere because we gotta go ahead and move on to score time. Guys, it is score time. My favorite time. Why? Because I get to tell you whether or not something is worth your hard-earned money. And guys, let's start with the design of this figure because it's really amazing. It looks exactly the way Chespin does. It very much looks like how he looks in the anime. There are a couple characters that have Chespins in the anime, and this is how they look. Look at the cute little smile this figure has. The pose is so great, and they just did a really good job of recreating this in toy form. I'm very happy to see Chespin look like this. Moving on to its functionality, this thing says 6 different phrases. That is a lot, especially when we go ahead and compare it to something like the Pikachu that had come out in 1997 in Japan and 1998 in America. Technology advanced, and because of that we got more functionality out of a toy like this. Yes, it's a simple toy and it's simple technology, but it is more advanced than what we got 20 years ago because of the fact that we can say multiple phrases with this toy. So they did a really good job. So as far as this design is concerned, I'm giving it a 10, and as far as this functionality is concerned, I'm also giving it a 10. This figure gets a perfect 10. It gets our official Nintendo PowerZone seal of quality. Guys, these are retailing at $12.99, so if you can find one, these are a definite must-have. You gotta go ahead and look for these. Unfortunately, I can't tell you the official Japanese name because I just don't read Japanese, so I can't tell you what the name translated mean. If anybody knows, go ahead and hit me up in the comments so that we can go ahead and advertise this a little bit better. But if you do see them, guys, go ahead and pick them up. They are worth it. And now, guys, it's time for me to let you go, but before I do, gotta hit you up these social media links. You can hit me up on Twitter at Nice1983. You can email me at nice1983@gmail.com. Check out the Facebook page, facebook.com/Nintendo PowerZone, all one word. Guys, if you're a fan of the Nintendo PowerZone podcast, you can download new episodes on iTunes, Google Play Music, and stream new episodes on Stitcher Radio. But if you want to watch us live, you can watch the show live on youtube.com/user/thearticle. THAARTICLE. And guys, don't forget, every Wednesday at 3 p.m. I have a brand new unboxing video for you here on YouTube. That's going to be it for this episode of Nintendo PowerZone Unboxing. Thank you so much for watching, and watch out for Amiibo Hunters on the prowl. Deuces!